Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
Let's go. Welcome to
live.
Thursday nights on the TGN.
It's time!
I had to let Tommy get his little word in there. Welcome, Tommy, to the show. Welcome, everybody, to the show. It is our flagship show, the Geeks and Noobs. I am, of course, your host, Super Beer Vince Hoover, joined by the Ginger Ninja Jaxbo. And, ladies and gentlemen, we are running with a bit of a skeleton crew tonight. It's going to be just me and Jaxbo. Unfortunately, my normal co-host, Cal McCosplay, is still under the weather with the Rona. CPG is out on date night, as well he should be. So we're running a little thin tonight, but that's fine. Because I love musicals, and Ginger loves musicals, and I think we're going to have a good time tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right, we are talking about movie musicals. Musicals that got turned into movies, as well as movies that got turned into musicals. And there's even that rare...
King.
Yep, Mean Girls is another one. But there's that rare gem also we're going to talk about. That's the...
And we all love musicals, Red Heart.
Bree, if you're free, you're more than welcome to come on. You just hit me up on Instagram.
Coach
you know
Ron,
the deal.
what's up, my buddy? Hope you had a great birthday, man.
Hey, Coach Ron got back in his original account. Awesome. There's a rare breed of a movie that got turned into a musical that got turned back into a movie.
High School Musical?
I mean, that's one of them. But the one I'm talking about in particular, and I'm going to dive real deep into this one later on, The Producers.
Yes, The Producers is amazing.
The Gene Wilder classic movie got turned into a Broadway musical that Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick made famous on Broadway. And then they remade the musical as a movie with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane, Will Ferrell, Uma Thurman, etc., etc., etc. So yes, there are tons of musicals out there. Moulin Rouge is a great one. The Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes.
Have you seen Tick, Tick, Boom?
Tick, Tick, Boom is a fantastic film.
Oh my! I'm a big Rent fan. But I didn't I've seen it live. I've never seen it on Broadway, but I've seen it live in Orlando. I've seen every iteration they've released, the movie. I've seen the when Fox did the live airing of it.
Yeah, with Vanessa Hudgens was on it.
Yeah, Vanessa Hudgenson was on it when they released the last showing on Broadway DVD. So getting to watch Tick, Tick, Boom and getting that little bit more insight of Jonathan Larson's life was amazing. If you haven't seen Tick, Tick, Boom, it's on Netflix.
Definitely. Andrew Garfield killed it.
Andrew Garfield. If you think he killed Spider-Man, he kills fucking me.
Yeah, by far. Yeah, as great as everybody think he is as Spider-Man. Spider-Man's one of his worst roles compared to some of the stuff he's done. Let's be real. His work in Social Network was amazing. Again, Tick, Tick, Boom, phenomenal. You also learn he can sing his ass off. It's great. Greatest Showman, AJ brings up, to me, Greatest Showman, the greatest musical film of all time. I just think that the greatest. There's something about that movie, the messages it puts out there, the performances. I was very fortunate to go see Hugh Jackman live in concert.
And that was another one we forgot to bring up when we were doing the songs made for movies.
Yeah, because Greatest Showman, we half mentioned it, but we wanted to bring it up to today. Yeah, that wrestling lady, Gracie, welcome.
Gracie,
one of our absolute favorites. Welcome. We're
talking musicals.
We're talking musicals today, and if somebody could be an ever loving gent or lady and gift that wrestling lady a sub, that would be amazing. Because she deserves it. She's one of the greatest ever.
Tommy's our new Walmart greeter.
I know, right?
I'm loving it. I love it.
Welcome
Tommy.
in.
But it was the song. What is? I broke Super Beard. Son of a bitch.
Oh, no. What did my moderator just delete? No. Wrestling lady doesn't get held down. What did my moderator just delete?
I don't know.
I don't like that. No. What? No. Can you put one of those symbols in chat, Gracie, and let me see what it was? It was just a wave.
Red to me is amazing.
Oh, for the love of God.
Tommy said he didn't do anything.
No, it wasn't you, Tommy. It was our AI moderator, our stream bot is being a dick. I'm about to pull the plug.
Best movie musicals. Damn, I wish I knew you were doing this. Do you know how many musicals I've been in my life?
That is true. Dad Hat, if you are free, you are absolutely right. If you're free, I can send you the code. I can get you in here. You know where to hit me up.
We have to. We're just gonna ramble some off.
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd is a phenomenal one, and it's one of those movies that like quite a few people in it couldn't actually sing. Like Johnny Depp, although in a band and is a lead singer,
Not the best of them.
is a musical guy, not the best. Helena Bonham Carter, who I love dearly. I think she is amazing. Not the greatest musical singer, but it worked in that film. Like, it worked so well in that film. Disney movies like Descendants, pretty much every Disney movie is a musical if you really break it down.
But the Paper Brigade. You know, they don't want to put the Paper Brigade on Disney Plus.
That is weird that they don't have it on there.
I love that movie too.
Can't jump
Can't
on,
jump
but I'll
on,
be
but
here.
I'll be here.
All right.
Sweetie Todd is such a.
Fine.
But you know
Rock
what
of Ages-
was not
Hamilton,
a good
yes.
adaptation to me
What was-
from
what-
musical from Broadway to a movie?
Which was?
In the Woods.
Oh, absolutely not. Into Woods
Here's
was
another
horrible.
Cats.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cats is the epitome of how not to move Broadway to film. What they did with Cats was a pure bastardization of one of the greatest musicals of all time. Cats
Yeah, I don't know.
truly is one of the greatest musicals of all time. Like, objectively, one of the greatest musicals of all time. And yet, that
You
movie...
figured a way to ruin it.
Yeah, in every way. From start to finish, it is a pure bastardization of a wonderful, wonderful IP. And it's awful. But you know another one? A lot of times when they bring Phantom of the Opera to screen, when they try to bring the musical to screen, I'm not talking the original Universal Monster version, but when they try to bring that Phantom of the Opera musical to screen, it
Yeah.
doesn't translate well either.
No, Phantom of the Opera you have to see live. Can I just say something? Can I just say how we have a chat full of wrestling
Yeah.
people nerding
And we're
out
all
right
just like
now
geeking
around
out to
musicals?
musicals.
This is amazing. I always felt like I was the only one, but now I'm not alone. I'm not alone anymore.
Hairspray is a fantastic
alone.
one. Chicago is great.
Hair-
Which, by the way, let me say
Hairspray
this.
was a movie that was made into a musical.
Musical
that
and
was
then
remade into a movie.
yeah. Oh, my headphones are stuck. My headphones are stuck under my chair. Ah!
That's why I don't have a 10-foot cord, sir.
Okay, I'm good. Okay. Anyways, we don't talk about Grease. I have PTSD. But no, Hairspray is a fantastic one. Chicago, I would like to add that the 2019 cast, I don't know if they're still doing it. I think during the pandemic, a lot of people got laid off and they opened up with new cast. The 2019 cast of Chicago on Broadway fucking killed it.
They should make a musical
Fucking
about
killed
the
it.
steroid trials.
I'd
That
go
would-
see it.
That would actually be hilarious.
We can't go any farther though. We have not mentioned one of the most iconic musicals to be made into a movie. Annie.
Yes.
I
Almost
love me
every
some Annie.
almost
hold
every
on,
iteration.
before we go any farther, I don't care what iteration of Annie. I love Annie.
That's what I mean. Like, just about everyone. See, that's the exact opposite of what they did with Cats. Almost every film iteration of Annie has been spot on. They've been great. Even their most recent, they've been doing a lot of those live musicals lately, like over the last few years.
It was a musical turned into a movie.
Annie was a musical that got turned into a movie. Matilda
a
wasn't a
movie.
musical. So Matilda wasn't a musical at first, but it has become a musical based on the film, which is based on a book. And that musical kicks ass. It really does.
Oh, the one on Netflix?
Yeah. It's really
I watched
good.
it.
It's really good.
A little bit naughty.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Dear Evan Hansen, go tonight and watch it, but be prepared to be very emotional and in your feelings.
Now, Dad Hat, are you talking
Can't
about the
afford to
most
do that tonight.
Are you talking about the most recent Dear Evan Hansen? Because I actually did not like that interpretation at all. I love Dear Evan Hansen. I've seen it several times. I've seen the musical several times. The movie that we just got, the movie version that we just got, I don't think does it justice. First off, you have a guy who looks like he's 40 years old playing a high schooler. Second, they make him out to be such a sociopath in the film, and that bothers the hell out of me. Okay, Will Gray, I hadn't gotten there yet, but you brought it up, so let's fucking do it. Actually, before I do that, Holly makes a fantastic point. They should make a Cocaine Bear musical.
My question is, we've talked about a lot of musicals. We've talked about a lot of movies that were made in musicals. Where does American Idiot fall into?
Oh,
it's a album turned into a musical.
That then got released as a movie. Like the musical got like how Hamilton wasn't turned into a movie. They just filmed it and released it as a film. They did the same thing with American Idiot. So it does count. But hey D, how's it going?
D of positivity.
I've seen several iterations of Evan Hansen. I've never seen that guy do Evan Hansen. He might have done the original one, but I've never seen him do it before. And it's Joseph in a Technicolor raincoat is a great one. Hair. That was the one I kept trying to think of.
You can't go any farther without Hair, baby.
That's the one I've been trying to think of, and it kept escaping me. We're talking about musicals, D. We are talking about musicals. Mamma Mia, of course.
Is a good one. See, I like ABBA. I'm an ABBA. My dad's a big ABBA fan too.
I'm an ABBA fan.
Pops is a big ABBA fan, so I'm not even gonna lie to anyone in here. I'll be completely honest. Me and Pop sat down together and watched Mamma Mia, and it wasn't because it was. It was because it was all ABBA songs. We thought it was cool as shit, and I might or might not have been on a trip.
Well, that always helps. Rocky Horror. See, Rocky Horror. Like I think Rocky Horror kind of transcends the typical musical because it is an interactive musical.
Sex, Drugs, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, like Rocky Horror transcends the standard musical because it is so. It's /SO, not exclamation point SO, Tommy. Just so you know. It is transcendent because it's so interactive. Like you go to the theater to interact with it, and there is a musical version of there's a Broadway musical version of Rocky Horror that is just as interactive.
You could ask Tommy every year in Jacksonville down at Five Points Theater. They do what's called the 7 Nights of Horror. It is 7 nights of Rocky Horror Picture Show. You come dressed up as a character. They give you popcorn and newspaper. They give you all the little stuff. And these, not only do they do a stage show, but they're doing the stage show as the movie's playing behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're running into the crowd. It's very interactive. Rocky Horror is just it's an experience at this point.
Like I said, it transcends the typical musical and a typical film.
You could put that on tour year round, and people would go see it.
Oh yeah, it would make $1 billion easy.
Yes, but
D
it's
says,
so protected by saving for Halloween.
Yeah, D says she has pictures of her dressed up. I've gone to so many shows. Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors, Dream Girls, The Wall. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ Superstar. Yes, Jesus Christ Superstar.
I forgot about that one.
That one, along with Hair, those two, kind of reshaped the entire genre.
But we also got to remember that was probably one of the best. I forgot what I was going to say. I had it and then I lost it. I'm wearing my Thursday shirt.
It'll come to you. It'll come to you, sir. West Side Story is another great one. And I actually liked the Steven Spielberg West Side Story that came out last year.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's very good. It just the timing was bad as far as theaters and still trying to get back into theaters. So it didn't do well, but it's done very well. He does it very well. In the Heights was good. Stage to screen. The Greatest Showman was a great original musical made just for film. Now they are going to be doing it on stage, but yes, that is to me one of the greatest musicals of all time, and it's definitely I think the greatest musical made solely for film. But another
what
one
I
that falls near to that is Across the Universe, which is all Beatles music done to a film.
yes.
It's the only time I've ever heard covers of Beatles songs, and every single one of them is amazing. Because they don't use original versions. They use like new versions for the film. And every single one of them is a fucking banger. And just when you think you cannot improve on a Beatles song, they fucking do it. When you hear the guy, what is his name? Martin Luther. Oh, the guy in the movie, he does While My Guitar Gently Weeps in this bar. And he takes it from this kind of sad melodic song to this fully emotional, deep-ass song, which I didn't think was possible because George Harrison had already killed it. But he fucking nails it. Across the Universe is so good. I actually loved Bono in that. Bono doing I Am the Walrus was fucking hilarious.
Man, me and Allison are becoming close friends every day. You fucking stand Bono.
But that's why I think it works in that scene, because he's playing that snake oil like salesman guy that, you know, the 1970s transcendental dude. Yeah. And it fucking works.
What about In the Heights?
In the Heights is great. In the Heights was great. Lin-Manuel Miranda is doing something amazing in the current structure of musicals. In the Heights was great. Of course, Hamilton is a classic, an instant classic. There's also a Greatest Showman sequel coming out. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory considered a musical? Not.
I don't.
It's borderline. It's real close. But I think that there's not enough songs in it.
I think it falls
it's close.
Under the Disney version of music.
Yeah, like a Disney musical, even though it's not a Disney movie. It definitely falls under Disney.
I mean, I would love to see Willy Wonka on Broadway. I think it'd be really cool.
Well, you know another movie that's fantastic to see on Broadway? Young Frankenstein. Young Frankenstein the musical is phenomenal.
You know we're gonna have to like plan out a week to go to Broadway. And just watch
we're going to New York in October.
That's right,
So we are going to Broadway. We're going to hit at least one show while we're there, sir. But Young Frankenstein on Broadway, up until Gene Wilder passed away, he would sneak into the back of the theater for every show. He was very hands-on in helping Mel Brooks turn that into a musical. And they fucking nailed it. Fucking nailed it. Singing in the Rain. What about the Python movies?
Huh?
The Monty Python movies. See, that's also, it falls near the Willy Wonka thing where they have a lot of songs, but it's not quite. Evil Dead the musical.
What about Guys and Dolls?
Guys and Dolls is great. Guys and Dolls is fantastic.
The King and I. Good classics.
Jax is such a complex human being. I did not expect you to love musicals.
Oh, Tommy's the other
you have
one.
no fucking clue. One song, glory. One song before I go.
Tommy is another
I love
one.
me some fucking musicals, man.
The Who's Tommy with the Pinball Wizard. That is a phenomenal musical. Yes, Tick Tick Boom. We talked. Yeah.
That hat. Let me tell you about Tick Tick Boom.
Bottoms up, brothers. The Wiz, Wicked need to be on this list.
Oh, hydrate.
Yes, Wicked. The Wiz is another one.
The Wiz is a phenomenal one.
Wicked is hard because Wicked has not been real. It's still Broadway.
It's still Broadway. They're working on a movie. So the movie's not out yet.
I heard they're working on it. Not as much of an adaptation is filming the Broadway like they did with Rent and
producers, and like they did with producers, where it's like, yeah, this is what they're doing, but still, it'll be in theaters. So we're not there yet for Wicked, but The Wiz, yes, West Side Story we talked about, Les Mis. Do you realize that Anne Hathaway won Best Actress, not Best Supporting Actress? She won Best Actress for Les Mis, and she had less than 15 minutes of screen time in a nearly 3-hour-long movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Have we not mentioned? I know you just mentioned Les Mis wrong. Never mind. Shut up.
Yeah, Les
I
Mis
got
is
Tick
fun.
Tick Boom stuck in my head now. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
have to
know.
watch that tonight.
But also, what I love is that like we got Russell Crowe in a musical. Prisoner 5482624. Like, just it's the most absurd shit, and yet it worked. It fucking worked. It worked. The original Jungle Book. Oh, Funny Girl's a great one. There's a Rocky musical. There's a Rocky musical?
Yep.
Really? That's crazy. By the way, speaking of musicals, for any of my Marvel Universe fans, the cinematic universe, that Rogers the musical that came out during Hawkeye is now on a limited. You can now watch the actual musical on the Disney Marvel cruise. They're now doing the musical as part of the Disney Marvel cruise. Hugh Jackman in anything is phenomenal. Yes, his Oklahoma was amazing. Of course, Greatest Showman. Like I said, I got to see Hugh Jackman live in concert after the success of Greatest Showman. He opens up the show with "This is the Greatest Show." He has a bunch of other. He does a lot of his musical stuff throughout the show. At one point, he brings out Aboriginal singers from Australia and New Zealand to sing with him, which was very like fucking bawling. We're bawling our eyes out in the fucking seats. Just an amazing human being and an amazing show. I adore Hugh Jackman so much. Such an incredibly talented
No, I have
person.
not seen Hugh Jackman's version of Oklahoma.
Absolutely check it out if you ever get any musical he's done. He's currently doing what's he doing right now? Or he just wrapped up
Hey, Dad Hat. Stranger, which as the He's musical.
I gotta look it up. I forgot what his latest one he just did.
Amazing. It's just been such a long time coming, and
Okay, now I feel really dumb for forgetting it. It was The Music Man.
What?
I was sitting there going, what was the musical he just did? The man, Hugh Jackman, did a musical. That man, what musical did he do? The Music Man.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb. Musical did he do? The Music Man. Nope. Turn that down.
We just gotta follow.
Kel McBride shared our stream. Thank you, sir. I hope you feel better soon. You deserve to feel better. You're missing a wonderful thing. But Coda Many Colors, The Color Purple, also great one. The Color Purple musical is phenomenal. Trolls, Sing, animated movies like that are purely musicals, absolutely. Hey yo, I'm in chat only mode. Putting you over, appreciate that. Thank you so much for popping in. So love you for that. Yeah, there's a thing about music. So before we break down any more actual great musicals, what to you, Jax, makes a great musical?
I want a story. I want the songs to be I want the transition. I don't mind the musicals like Rent, the Broadway. I like the Broadway rock operas, but I have to have a story in them. I have to have more than one character I can identify with, and the songs have to be seamless and catchy. If you can catch me, if a song from a musical can catch me where I want to put it on a playlist and listen to it in my car, and yes, I have that. So, second, I do have certain songs from musicals on a playlist in my car. But you just, yeah, I got to be able to connect.
Tommy confirms. Yes, he does.
Tommy will confirm that I do listen to musical show tunes in my car.
Well, we're
And
probably
sing
gonna
them
rock
at the
out.
top of my lungs.
Probably gonna rock out to the Greatest Showman soundtrack on the way to Houston.
Oh, dude,
just let you know.
listen, man.
I'm fucking
we'll
all
get
for it.
DMCA'd as much shit as I see.
That and Across the
Listen,
Universe,
son of
because
a
again,
bitch.
that soundtrack to me is also one that I listen to all the time. Kel, you feel 65% better. That's better than not being better. So we're getting there. And wouldn't you know it, 65 also happens to be the number of subs we have right now. We're trying to get to that 100, so if you could help us out. Wonderful segue, Kel. Well done, sir. I don't think that was on purpose at all. Yeah, we talked about Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd is an interesting one because, like we said, Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, I wouldn't say are Broadway talents. Like, they can sing, but not Broadway sing. And it's very prevalent in that movie. They are not Broadway singers, and yet for some reason it works. Yes. Sweeney Todd is one of those rare ones.
You know what I want to see them make into a Broadway musical?
What's that?
Walk Hard.
Yes, Walk Hard as a Broadway musical would be phenomenal. That movie does not get enough love. And that's,
it really doesn't.
I would say that's a musical. It's a musical film. I can't do fluff musicals. I need something that makes me think, makes me feel, and not just sunshine and rainbows. Speaking of ones that make you think.
That's why I like rock operas.
Yeah, rock operas are great. But Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh my God.
Fiddler on the Roof is just a phenomenal one. And if you've never got a chance to do it, I highly recommend you look it up. There is an all Yiddish version of Fiddler on the Roof. They do it all in Yiddish. It's subtitled for English, but it's all done in Yiddish. And if you thought it was powerful before to watch Fiddler on the Roof, have them sing that in Yiddish. Holy shit.
D, to answer your question, are they ever going to make a Beetlejuice musical? A film? Yes, they've talked about it. They were actually prepared, from what I understand. And Dad Hat might actually be able to help me back this facts up. I think they were preparing for it before the pandemic broke out. Mm-hmm. And when the pandemic broke out, it kind of derailed everything.
Yeah.
But they still do plan on making a film version of Beetlejuice the musical.
And D brings up a great point. Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins is different than other Disney ones. Exactly.
I'm right.
Because Mary Poppins to me feels more like The Producers, where they filmed a Broadway musical for a movie. You know, the way it's shot very like one camera to every set kind of thing. It's shot very much like a musical. I feel like you're right. Mary Poppins, it stands out on its own, especially in that era of Disney films when everything was basically a musical. Gone with the Wind, Oz stuff era, yeah, like.
You know who was in Gone with the Wind?
A lot of people.
Superman.
Yes, Christopher Reeve was in Gone with the Wind.
No,
producer, you're right. The Producers is perfect.
Superman.
By the way, another one that's not really a musical, but it's a Broadway play, so I'm going to count it here, is Christopher Reeve was in this, and it was the very classic the play that it's called the play that goes wrong. The one that was shown in Hollywood, they did a Hollywood version of The Play That Goes Wrong, and Christopher Reeve is in it, and it's phenomenal. So that's a non-musical Broadway play converted to a film, but I'm going to include it because it's a Broadway, and I love Christopher Reeve, so anything I'm going to get to mention Christopher Reeve, I love that man to death, and it still affects me that he's gone. But did you also see they made Elf into a musical? I heard about that. I have not seen it yet, but I have heard that Elf got turned into a musical.
I have to see that, because like Elf is a very good movie.
Mean Girls the musical, I think, is phenomenal. If anybody ever gets a chance to check that out, please check it out. Rock of Ages is a classic. The fact that Tom Cruise got the actual tattoo done for real is weird, but he did it. Dad Hat has never seen Gone with the Wind. Wow. Wait until they do Something Rotten as a movie. Something Rotten as a movie might be phenomenal. But do you... Okay, so Dad Hat, let me ask you this question. Do you do Something Rotten as a full-on movie, or do you do it as a musical movie, a la The Producers?
A la Hamilton.
Yeah, if you do it, do you do it like that, or do you do it like, do you write a whole movie around the musical and make it a movie?
I say do it like they did Hamlet. Bring that experience from the theater into your home. People that can't get out, people that suffer from social anxiety but still love musicals like myself. I love it when they release these musicals as as movies, not cinematically. Just the cameras on the stage, them having to
Mhm.
move the props around, the intermission break, everything about that experience. Not be able to go to Broadway and see it is amazing to me.
Yeah, do it like the producers. Agreed. I'm right there with you, Dad. I think that's the way to do it. I think a lot of musicals translate better done that way. There are some musicals that I think get turned into movies that work pretty well, but for the most part, I think you do them like a Broadway musical on screen.
Jax, you know there is a streaming service which is exactly that.
I'm sorry, what?
But it doesn't have movies like Wiz on it, or it doesn't have movies like Wicked and fucking. I did watch the SpongeBob musical. That was pretty cool. It was on Paramount Plus.
Coach Ron, I consider The Greatest Showman to be the greatest musical film of all time. It's not accurate historically. It's not even close to being accurate. Like, it's way off base. Especially growing up in Tampa, a lot of what
Wait, hold on. Time
P.T.
out.
Barnum.
So Wicked is on this streaming site. Film like Hamilton. And I don't know about this.
What is that streaming service called, Dad Hat? I would really like to invest in that as well.
Why don't I know about this.com?
Yeah. So for me, The Greatest Showman, like I said, not even close to historically accurate. Like I said, I grew up in Tampa. I literally lived across the street from one of the circus cemeteries. One of the cemeteries done by the circus. P.T. Barnum.
If there's
the circus.
P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, he based it out of Sarasota, Florida. A lot of that stuff is right around Tampa. That movie is so far away from historically accurate, it's not even funny. However, it is such a moving. It is such a moving film. When Rebecca Ferguson, who by the way doesn't actually sing the song, it's another opera singer who sings it, but I forgot her name. But when she does one of the greatest lip sync things I've ever seen, and does "Never Enough" on stage.
Never enough.
Yes, it's called Broadway HD. Ginger, you have homework. Broadway HD.
On it.
Find out how much it is. We're gonna get it. Never Enough. Like, This Is Me. The Greatest Show. Like every song, like they nail it from top to bottom in that film, and I love every second of it. And I know some people are kind of upset that Zac Efron took the role from I forgot his name, but he was in the Supergirl series. I loved Zac Efron in that movie. I really did. I thought he was great.
It's $11.99 a month.
That seems
Let's
worth
see
it
what's
to me.
on here. Cats, Peter Pan, Phantom of the Opera.
That
Kinky
alone right there is
Boots.
worth it. But Kinky Boots is so good.
She Loves Me. Oh, I can't. I'm gonna have to spell it because I can't pronounce it.
Okay, go for it.
I'll put it. I'll put it in private chat.
Okay, I'll try and pronounce it. Kinky Boots, phenomenal musical. Phenomenal musical. Falsettos. Yeah. I've not seen Falsettos, but I've heard really good things about Falsettos.
In the Woods is on here.
Yeah, the Broadway version, the real version.
See what's available now. Loading all titles. Let's just go through here. Let's see. A lot of stuff. Oh. Load more. Cats. The original good
original
version
Cat.
of Cats.
I cannot tell you how many times my mom had a VHS of the Cat, the original cast of Cats on Broadway. There was that DVD came out.
Fame's on here.
Oh, Fame.
Hello,
Now, okay,
hello
wait,
again.
We got to talk about Fame for a second, because Fame did something different, but it falls in this category. Fame became a television series. It was a musical.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, I love Jesus Christ Superstar. But Fame, what got me into musicals was Fame. I remember as a kid loving the show Fame, and then my mom explained where it came from and the fact that it was originally a musical. Then she showed me Cats, and she showed me Phantom of the Opera, and I was hooked. Love musicals to death.
I didn't know anything about musicals until after I graduated high school. and it was was my ex-girlfriend now, and she introduced me to my first musical was Rent, and it was like I was like, "There's shit out here like that," and she was like, "Yeah," and then it just spiraled down.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Coach Ron says, "Yeah, he remembers the TV show. I remember. Yeah, I watched Fame every single week. I never missed an episode as a kid. Rent is phenomenal, but Fame changed my life. And you know, I remember I remember Fame. I'm gonna live.
Ooh,
forever.
Showboat.
Oh, Showboat's good. Showboat's really good. Showboat is really, really good. Yeah, when it comes, I'm with Kel. When it comes to Greatest Showman, you have to use the Seamus audio of banger after banger after banger. It really does. It is
Banger after banger after banger after banger. Go get it.
This is so worth $11.99. The Toxic Avenger, the musical.
Oh my God, that is worth the $11.99 on its own.
I mean, they got some I've never heard of, and they got some ones I've heard of. They don't have Wicked.
I think his Wicked's off Broadway right now, so that might be why they don't have it. But I'm sure as it comes back, because it is going to come back on Broadway, I'm sure of it.
The Wicked's touring, remember? Because the tickets are like,
oh, that's right. We looked that up. We
$400.
looked it up. That's right. It's like $400
Yeah.
a goddamn. We were like, yeah, let's go. It's going to be in Orlando. Never mind, because it's really
Yeah, we were like,
expensive.
let's do it. This is how it went. Look, ready? It's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's look it up, man. We'll go see Wicked. Yeah. No, we're not going to go see it. Fuck it.
No, it's insane. It was
Moby
$400 for nosebleed top seats.
Let me tell you, they got like 6 iterations of Romeo and Juliet on this website, though. They got Les Miserables, 2 different versions.
If it's the classic is always great, but there was a Broadway troupe that did it. I want to say in the late '90s, early 2000s that fucking kill it. They just kill it. I got one for you that I love. The Last 5 Years. It's such a cool concept. The scenes go back and forth in this couple's relationship. The woman's scenes go from the end of the relationship to the beginning, and the guys go from the beginning to end, and they alternate. That sounds amazing. Oh, thank you, D. That was the one I've been sitting here racking my brain trying to think about. Hadestown. Hadestown is phenomenal. Hadestown is so good. And Hadestown, not to get too political, is a all people of color cast, and that is so rare on Broadway. And Hadestown is so good on Broadway. The movie version is Anna Kendrick, which I love Anna Kendrick. So I'm going to have to watch that. Hadestown is coming to Canada in the summer. Nice. Go see it. If you can, D, go see it, because Hadestown. Oh, so good. My old co-host on the show, Lily, a good friend of the channel, she introduced me to Hadestown, and I watched it, and I've watched it. In the last year, I've probably watched it a dozen times, if not more. It's so good. Hadestown is one to definitely check out, and Hadestown is one I think deserves to be on the big screen. Coming the end of August, right on.
Make sure you go see it.
Yeah, if you can make it to the show, go see it for sure. But we're definitely gonna hit up we're gonna hit at least one Broadway show if we don't while we're in New York, if we don't hit more. Jagged Little Pill. So we kind of brought this up with American Idiot about albums that got turned into musicals. Jagged Little Pill that falls along with lines of like Dreamgirls and ones like that, and the Whitney Houston one, which I can't remember the name of it all of a sudden. There's that Whitney Houston musical, which is phenomenal. But Jagged Little Pill is the story of Alanis Morissette wrapped around her Jagged Little Pill album.
Oh my God. You could watch the 1982 Sweetie Todd stage performance on YouTube.
Really? I bet
Yeah,
that's
it's in
phenomenal.
a playlist that someone's connected every part of it, but it's a professional filming from '82.
Nice.
I was just looking to shoot shit up.
There's just something to be said about a musical. Like, we talked about this before, about how soundtrack songs like Kiss My Rose and My Heart Will Go On and stuff like that. There is a bit of a cheat code in getting to write a song for a movie because the emotion's laid out for you. At the same time, there's a cheat code to taking jukebox music, like we talked about last week, and putting them into your movie and finding ways to make them fit. The musical is the best of all worlds. I Want to Dance with Somebody. Thank you, AJ.
I want to dance with somebody.
Yeah, I want to see Technicolor Dreamcoat. I've never seen it here to myself. It's so good. It's well worth the watch. But musicals have that, like they have it all in spades. Songs written for the play. Sometimes they use jukebox music to fit into the musical, like Rock of Ages. All in all, musicals encompass all of that, and they bring so much emotion. And if you've never seen any musical live, whether it be on Broadway or off Broadway, just go see one. I got to see Phantom of the Opera in the Tampa Theater. Tampa Theater is an old theater, old by American standards anyways. It's like 100 plus years old. So it's old by American standards. Beautiful, beautiful theater. And I got to see Phantom of the Opera in that theater. And holy shit, will it change your life seeing a musical live. Saw Wicked live. Yes. Amazing.
Saw Wicked live, D. We can no longer be friends because I haven't seen it.
So I love Rent, but the movie cut so many great songs, and they cut the best parts of the ensemble. Yeah, I agree. While Rent is great, if you see Rent the movie first and then see the actual Broadway play, that's the best way to experience Rent. Because if you saw the Broadway play first, the movie will disappoint you because, like you said, there's so many things cut out of it.
I was introduced to the movie first and went and saw the Broadway after.
I saw Beauty and the Beast at the
You're good, D.
Pantage. Yes, see them live. Yeah, if you ever get to see them. Christmas Bells and Halloween are the best songs. And yeah, weren't they cut from the... No, Christmas Bells was in the movie, wasn't it?
No, Christmas Bells and Halloween were not in the movie. They were both cut from the movie.
They were both cut. Okay. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. If you've never seen Rent, watch the movie first. Then watch the Broadway play. Because if you watch it the other way around, it will kind of ruin the movie for you.
Watch the movie, watch the Broadway play, then go watch Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, that in that order. In that order. Agreed 1,000% on that.
Because once you watch the movie, the Broadway musical, and you go back and watch Tick, Tick, Boom, you'll get a lot of Rent references in it.
It will also make you appreciate everything. It will also make you appreciate everything you watched before. Like, you'll get a new appreciation for what you just fell in love with. You'll fall in love with it all over again watching Tick, Tick, Boom.
And what makes Tick, Tick, Boom so good is if you're a Rent fan, is you can connect with those characters through Rent. Like, you could tell the characters that were based on, oh, that's Mark. Oh, that's Angel. That's who Roger's based on. And then you see a little bit of Jonathan Larson sprinkled up on all of them.
And Tick, Tick, Boom was considered a flop because it came out first.
Yeah, I remember that.
I thought Tick, Tick, Boom just came out last year.
The movie did. The actual it's a musical.
Oh, it's also a musical?
Yeah, it was Jonathan Larson after he wrote a music. When you watch Tick, Tick, Boom, you know the musical he is writing?
Yeah.
That's the musical he wrote before Tick, Tick, Boom.
Oh.
And he goes on to write Tick, Tick, Boom, then goes back to a project from years ago called Rent. So he was writing.
Okay.
In the process of his life, he always wanted to make Rent. He had to take a break off. I forgot the name of the musical, but it didn't really pick up. So he went off and did Tick, Tick, Boom. It was a flop. It did some theaters and some workshops, never made Broadway. But after Tick, Tick, Boom didn't go, he went back to Rent. But he did not live to see Rent become the world-round sensation that it is. And now seeing Tick, Tick, Boom become just as big.
Yeah. Which is a shame. But unfortunately, sometimes people are ahead of their own time.
Yeah.
and
Larson
that
was ahead of
happened.
his own
Like, you
time.
know,
You could do a whole show on Jonathan Larson.
Yeah, but I always bring up the example of Vincent van Gogh. The man never sold one painting in his life. Considered one of the greatest artists of all time. Man never sold a painting in his life. Wasn't famous till after he died. Like, there are people who are just ahead of their time, and it sometimes being ahead of your time works in your favor, a la Leonardo da Vinci, because he was a well-renowned man in his time, but people didn't understand what he was doing. But most times, being ahead of your time is to the detriment of your own self, and you end up never seeing the fruits of your labor until after it all happens after you die, and that sucks. Because a lot of those people die feeling like they're a failure, only to find out that they're a generational talent that affects the world for decades to come. So they released a demo for the Resident Evil 4. Ooh, I might be downloading that demo here soon. That's another game I'm gonna be playing a lot of. That's gonna be cool. There was talk, and this is going to sound really weird. There was talk. I know we already talked about there was an Evil Dead musical, which that makes sense to me. There was talk of a Resident Evil musical. I don't know how that would have worked. That would have been weird. Not a musical, but did you ever see Will Ferrell's one-man show as George W. Bush? Yes. There's also a Josh Brolin version of that one-man show as called Bush, which is also fascinating. Those are both fascinating. I'm a big one-man show guy, too. I remember one of the first things ever Broadway-wise, even before my mom showed me musicals, is I got to go see Patrick Stewart live, in person, do a one-man show of The Christmas Carol. And we sat front... It was a school field trip. We sat front row at the Tampa Theater to watch Patrick Stewart do a one-man version of The Christmas Carol. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart
My mom,
great.
My mom and sister, my mom took my sister when she was real young to see Annie the musical when it was touring. Like, my sister was 13, like young.
I saw Annie done in a local theater in Tampa by a traveling tour thing. That was really cool. We actually saw a touring college troupe do Rent at our school in high school. So it was this college theater troupe, and they were doing Rent as a traveling thing, and they were going to different high schools and doing it, and they came to our high school and did that. I thought that was really cool too. Those kids were phenomenal at doing it. Like, it really nailed it. And there was something about college age kids doing Rent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just fit, but every one of them was super talented too, so that was really cool. There's something about a musical that just, like, I don't care who you are, I don't care how tough you are, you can talk all the shit you want to talk. A good musical comes on, you're gonna watch. It's going to grab you because it's the best of both art forms. The live action or film art form and the music art form. It's the best of both worlds at once. And there's so much emotion. Even your kind of funny ones, like Book of Mormon. Your funnier ones, the ones that don't have as much seriousness to them, are still emotionally moving. They're just hitting the funny bone emotion. They're hitting that side of it. So there's still so much to it. So, Lord Mannix, how's it going, sir? Welcome to the show.
Yes, when we get off air, we have to talk.
Yeah.
We were in the middle of something before we went on air. We were watching Ring of Honor.
Yeah. So, it like there was a pro wrestler that works out to musicals. Yeah,
his name's Matt Cardona.
Yeah, like, and why wouldn't you? They're great.
Your Dyson Dishes said there's a pro wrestler that works out to musicals. His name's Matt Cardona. He's in a musical. They did that wrestling musical.
Yeah.
How can we forget about that?
Yeah, that ties everything together. What was the name of that? What was the name of that? What was the name of that?
Robert Blake.
I thought he died years ago.
Robert Blake. Robert Blake. Robert Blake. Robert Blake.
He was an actor who turned into a murderer who got arrested, and like I'm sure he was in prison if he wasn't already dead. I thought he had already died. I could have sworn Robert Blake already passed away.
Nope. Died March 9th, 2023 at 89.
Was he still in prison, or had they let him out?
I don't fucking know. Child life, yeah, okay. I don't care. He did a lot of movies in the 40s and the 50s. 90s.
Oh no, he was tried and acquitted for the 2001 murder of his second wife, but he was found liable in civil court. So just like O.J. Simpson, he was found innocent in the criminal trial, but then found guilty in the civil court. Yeah, so good riddance. Sorry. Like, you know. Bull James actually trained the actors and actresses for the musical. I think Ken Pantera got out. Oh. There's another asshole.
We did it, dude. You thought we weren't going to be able to do it. We've almost successfully filled a full hour of musicals.
I knew we were going to be able to fill at least an hour.
There.
I knew we'd at least be able to get through an hour. Because, I mean, it's hard not to talk about music. Like you said, as soon as we got started, what did the comments just fill up with? Naming all these great musicals. Chicago, Rent.
We have one of the best communities. Like, let me take
really
a break
do.
from musicals. Great. We have one of the coolest and most open communities because we all sat here last night and talked a bunch of wrestling, had a great time. And then we come on tonight and we're talking musicals and Broadway, and everyone is still having a great time. Like, guys, I can't thank y'all enough. I can't.
Someone should have the AEW roster recreate Newsies. That's awesome. That would be a storyline for AEW.
Good old Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale's first major role in Newsies. That was the one we were talking about we need to not forget, and we forgot. And thank you, Lord Mannix, for bringing it up. Christian Bale's first ever major role was in Newsies. That's insane.
I thought it was Little Women.
No, his first major role. He was basically the lead of Newsies.
Oh, that's right. He was a second. He was a side character in Little Women.
Yeah, in Newsies, it was his first major role.
Yeah, it was his first lead role.
Yeah. Yeah, but he wasn't the lead actor in Tears of the Sun. In Newsies, he was the lead boy. As weird as that sounds. Well, I think next week we're actually going to be doing a breakdown of Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I believe that came out.
That comes out tomorrow?
Yeah, I believe it comes out tomorrow.
I might have to try to get the money up to go see that.
I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good time, hopefully. But my only concern is I think the trailers gave away the entire plot. Christian
But you
Bale
know me, I also don't care about spoilers, so I'll be here win or lose, post it or not.
You might be thinking of a different movie, Lord Mannix, because Christian Bale isn't even in Tears of the Sun. That came out in 2003. Let me look up Christian Bale movies. Empire of the Sun is what he did. He did Empire of the Sun. But I think, didn't Newsies come out before Empire of the Sun?
What year did Empire of the Sun come out?
Oh, no. Empire of the Sun was 87. Newsies was 1992. So, yeah, Empire of the Sun is his first major role. Why did I think that...
For the steal.
Why did I think that Newsies came out before that? I really thought it did.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's 17. By the way, he is 17 in Newsies.
Yeah, he's young.
17. Wow. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. By the way, Empire of the Sun, another phenomenal Steven Spielberg film. We could do a whole episode on Steven Spielberg movies for sure. That would be a long episode though, because I saw this thing where people talked about it's very rare for a director to get 4 movies back to back to back to back to be bangers, to be like massive hits. And people kept saying, oh, not even Steven Spielberg did it. Not only did Steven Spielberg do it, he did it 4 times in his career. And one of those times, it wasn't 4 in a row. He had 10 in a row. He had 10 movies in a row that were massive hits. So we could do a whole episode on
Steven Spielberg alone.
Steven Spielberg. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, when it comes to musicals, like there's like we said, like everybody has listed off so many of them, and I know we've only touched the surface. We've only scratched the surface. And that's we're trying to narrow it down to ones that have been turned into movies or movies that got turned into musicals. Shrek was one we didn't talk about. The Shrek musical is amazing. The Aladdin musical. Holy shit. The genie parts, because he plays with the audience during the Broadway play, it's phenomenal. It's so good. So there are so many of them. Lion King, of course. My Wrestling with Toxicity shirt should be here Friday. Right on, Lord Mannix. Good to know.
Hell yeah. Oh, speaking of that, Tommy bought a Dick Kick City shirt. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would sell one of them bitches.
Oh,
and we did.
Why you got to bring that up, Jason? Jason brings up.
You're rubbing off on my mama, and I don't like it. I don't need no damn cows. I don't need no damn bulls in my yard. That's just more work for me. But they got a baby cow. I love
Lord Mannix said it was so hard not to buy the Dick Kick City shirt. Jason brought up the Spider-Man musical. What was it called?
It was a major disaster.
Yeah, people died. Like, it was bad. Alone in the Dark or something it was called. I don't know, some fucking weird. It's a cutie. All cows are cuties. John, stop trying to get this man.
You take me cow tipping, John.
You're trying to get this man's mom to buy a cow. You need to stop it. All cows are cute. You ever seen an ugly cow? No. Because it's not a thing. We were talking about good musicals, Jason, not shitty ones. Bring that shit up. My dad said he'd give her a cow. Jesus Christ.
No. As much as I appreciate it, listen, I will take as many tamales as possible before I take that fucking cow. Them damn things were good.
I'm just saying, they're trying. He's trying. I hope Mama, as much as I want Mama Jax to be watching us, I kind of hope she's not watching right now.
She's not watching. No, she's sick.
Okay. Well, I hate that she's sick.
It's just not like she's not like dying. She just got a little sinus infection.
Okay. Hopefully she feels better soon.
Yeah.
Again, we could probably talk another hour, 2 hours, 3 hours about musicals. We could probably talk all night long about musicals, but Dad said he'll send her some deer tamales. Right on.
Ooh, deer tamales. I'll be up there in May, Dad. Just FYI.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up a little bit early tonight because we want to do some fun rating. I do believe the Dad Trainer is still going strong, right, Jax? Double check his channel.
No, he's not on right now.
Really?
No, but another man that is.
Who else is on right now?
Kevin's on right now.
There it is. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to raid Kevin here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in for the musical episode of Heal Kevin. We're going to raid Heal Kevin real quick. He so graciously
showed us last night.
Yeah, he so graciously rated us last night. Let's show him that same love, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for our musical episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love all of you. Each and every one of you are amazing. Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
We will see you guys next week. I think next week we're going to be talking Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Full spoilerific episode on that. So we're going to have a good time there.
Hopefully,
he is dabbing. Hopefully Kel feels better enough to be there. Hopefully he gets a chance to see the movie. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Geeks and Noobs. I am Super Beard Vince Hoover. That is Ginger Ninja Jaxpo over there. As always, make sure you follow us on all of our socials. Make sure you go to YouTube, TGN Networks, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. If you're here on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're feeling ever so generous, please subscribe. It helps grow the channel. As you saw during our wonderful subathon that you guys really rocked out for, which we're really appreciative for that as well. If you're over on Facebook, please follow us at the Geeks and Noobs Podcast. And, of course, all of our socials. You find us on TikTok and Instagram and all that fun jazz.
Twitter and all that fun shit.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. So that's going to do it, but don't go anywhere. We're going to raid Heel Kevin, show him the same love they showed us yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for our show. We will see you guys next week.